Well, it's Tuesday morning. I'm in Dawson Springs. I've just dropped off my eBay. I'm clearing out these sorts of things from the storage house so that I only have things for sale by the time the sale happens. New order of treasure craft pottery craft books have come in. I just sold the very last one I had, so I am ready for more orders. In addition to setting up at the house in Earlington today, I've got to start this morning with marketing because it is Tuesday and a lot of the weekly shopper papers and the thrifty nickels, those sorts of things, they come out on Wednesday. So I'm close to a deadline and it's Tuesday morning flea market day and I've got flyers to take. There's not a lot of people doing the flea market this time of year, but they are one of my better sets of customers for these sales. It's always a little bit funny when you are doing a sale and you have to put the advertising out before you even know exactly what you're selling. So we put some general categories of information and then we will fill in the blanks when we do our big ads on Craigslist and other online sources, estatesales.net, where you can really do a lot of detail and photos. We are at Luke's Town Country Flea Market. It's got to be starting to wrap up, but I'm just really here to deliver flyers. It's late in the season and there's only a few people here, and unless they're selling used household goods, I'm not giving them one because I don't have a lot of tools or knives or anything for sale.
I looked them up, got the line, but you make a bunch of money off it, I think.
I think they're all right. I'll give you 20 bucks for them. Hey there. What I've been into? Well, a bunch of stuff like usual. I actually came to just give you that because I'm having another sale this weekend, but I like to look at your stuff. So how was it today? It's got to be getting close to the end. Yeah.
Drunk, I blew away.
Ooh, those are nice. Oh, I like the parking meter.
More for it than I should have.
I know. I like them too, and I always pay too much too. But you said 30?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take it for 30, and I might end up feeling the same way you do. Well, these folks look like they clean out houses in some way, so I'll leave them one. I think this is what these looked like about the time that I came along, except hopefully cleaner. This guy's always got cool stuff, but he is here on Saturday. I like these crimpers. These always sell for me. They're just such a curiosity. I suppose you could actually use it. This guy's got some pretty neat looking stuff right now, and I'm trying to resist buying too much, especially big stuff, which I'm not doing a good job on. Like the radio, I have to admit, I would buy that if it works. Lloyd's was a Japanese company in the 60s and 70s. They made the first pong machine that we had at my house. Charlie consistently gets some of the coolest stuff in the market. Mine didn't have a bell or tassels, but this is my first strike, and my dad ran it over to the truck, and then I got my first bike. One nice thing about having a storehouse in a consistent location is that you're able to talk to people and make relationships with them. Even though I'm nomadic, I've actually been here enough times to shop and to promote my sales that people here were glad, expecting it. They were jovial, fun to talk to, and looking forward to it. So hopefully we'll have a good crowd. I suspect a lot of people will come here to Luke's on Saturday morning, early hours of the morning before we're open, and then head over to our sale. It's the last hot weekend of the year, the last weekend in the 70s before next spring. So we really are lucking out on the weather. At least we think the weather is going to cooperate. There may be some showers, but we've got a porch and a house and a tent, and it's rain or shine. We're going to make it work. I'm taking flyers to the shops in Greenville now because I find that in more rural places like this, a personal invitation really does make a difference. And besides which, I get to poke around a little bit. Zeno would be having it fit over this lamp for $25. Hager vase at $8.50 is cute. The koi teapot cookie jar is only $10. They have Christmas houses at $4 to $8 to $12. So this is helpful also in terms of my pricing. This place does pretty good business. It's a nice used goods store of all sorts, and they do have some vintage. I'm used to seeing a real cat here.
She's right there.
Ah, there we go.
That's her new favorite spot today.
They even have a table of free items. So this is telling me we're getting near end of season for a lot of these folks, and we need to make sure that prices are affordable. But I'm also not seeing tons of vintage, so it makes me think that we at least have something that they don't. One of the reasons to run around right before a sale is to see what people do have and what they have access to, because that helps you figure out if you have the best thing, the only thing, or it has to be the cheapest thing. And at this sale, I intend for it to be cheap enough to be the best one. Small towns still get their information in some old-fashioned ways. So yes, I do put a few flyers on the bulletin boards of the local grocery stores. Well, we're not leaving a flyer at this place. Antiques and Uniques had the unfortunate end of a lot of places that start out as antique stores, then decide that they are furniture decorating stores selling resale and quit getting antiques. And the antique buyers stop buying, and you just can't sell enough of the contemporary stuff in a market like this because it's not unique or antique. So I'm sorry to see it gone, but I can't say I'm surprised. Well, I bought a couple things at Attic Heirlooms, and they said they're going to try to get to the sale. They have a consignment shop and a mix of old and new and vendors, and I bought some neat pieces of glass. For someone who's trying to get rid of stuff at a sale, I seem to be doing a good job accumulating stuff. But the point really is to let go of the stuff that you have that has been around and to get fresh things. And so I am motivated. I am willing to take a loss on a lot of things this weekend if that's what it takes. And I'm going to do an experiment where I put whatever I make into an account and we see how long it takes to flip it enough times to make your money back. Our local vendor mall gets a flyer. In fact, they've got a bulletin board, so they're getting a bunch. They are the closest group of resellers to where the sale is. So funny, I ended up running into Beth Kemper, who is getting ready for the show up in Princeton, Indiana on Friday and Saturday, and I'm going to see her there and take flyers to her. I decided to not shop this one and let her have the bargains because she's got a show and I need to be selling. Along with social media, in the very small towns, I still use the newspaper. It doesn't cost much of anything, and it is where a lot of local gossip happens, so people actually do read it. Well, inside is going slowly, but it's going, and it's helping that I'm getting a lot of the stuff out of the way. I made some room for myself inside the house by starting the dollar table already. I can secure this very easily. These are only dollar items, but there are some cute ones. Certainly some good things for $1. A piece of uranium glass. It has a little factory flaw at the bottom. There's nothing wrong with it. Homeco Elf. A bunch of Sebastian's miniatures. I usually get $8 or $10 in the malls for those, and they sell pretty readily, but I have 36 of them that I just got in another lot. This is why, for me, I need to liquidate some of this stuff, even though some of it is perfectly savable, and on other circumstances, I would take it and sell it somewhere else. But it is destined to go with other people. Pretty piece of Fenton that I unfortunately chipped. Well, the second day, it always looks as bad as it did at first, but I am going home because I've got to get ready to be on Nurse Flipper, and I've got to prepare the premiere for the main channel tomorrow night. But stay with me here. Boy, Nurse Flipper, I might have to explain how I got this shiner, but I'd rather wait and, well, we'll talk about it soon. Anyway, I'm going to show you what I got done today here, and it's a little bit. This corner is certainly shaping up. I've got another South American map. I got the 2 railroad lanterns plugged in, so they look pretty cool over there. That certainly changes that area. It's a different South American map than I had before as well. I've got the Walter von Nessen Chase Chrome set. That's only going to be $10, and it works. Should be worth about $75. Somebody ought to pick that up and sell it. But we're filling in and filling up. We are starting our $5 area. We are starting our $3 area, except for the clock. And then we're going to work on down. The dollar stuff went outside. I know this still seems a lot like it did, but believe me, I've gotten through a whole lot of boxes today, and it's dark in here, but I redid this little galley kitchen area. I moved in a farm table. You can see that. Let's get a little more light on the subject. There we go. So that looks a lot better than it did out on the porch, and it's going to help me get the porch ready for the folks who are coming. Brought in a Dansk barrel-lidded casserole that's worth about $40. It's in the original box. That's going to be $10. The churn's going to be $10. There's going to be a lot of deals here. Anchor Hawking breakfast set. We've got some more Corning and Corel ware. And over here, we've got a bunch of cafe ware that has not been out before. I like this one for Hobo Joe. Neddick's Fine Coffee. So it's going to be fun when we have the light on it. It's also a good thing I'm doing this because in the video last night, I mentioned the two-tone phone and someone said, oh, I was at the sale and bought that and forgot to pick it up. And I kept thinking that somebody had paid for that. So we are going to put that aside for her. Hopefully she can come to the sale this weekend. Here is a nice Fenton bowl. And another nice Fenton bowl. We're finding more ladies. The new one on the left is a Napco. This spice box has appeared on the $10 shelf. We're looking at $5 a piece on the violinist lamp, the Red Wing pottery piece, the Hull pottery piece. Another lovely lady. The bird is Andrea by Sedek. I usually get about 18 to 20 for those. There's a piece of Blanco down there. Good piece of Francoma. It's helpful getting this out because I am starting to rethink my pricing a little. I think that a lot of my stuff that's $10, well, we may create like a 369 system or something where it's just really simple and everything is under $10. Except for some of the larger pieces, of course, some of the paintings, some of the racks, but even they're going to be a lot less. I suspect we will do $20 on that one and maybe $10 or $15 by half price day on some of these because I'm hoping to sell down enough of this stuff that I'm not going to need quite so many of these in the future. And the very last thing is I'm turning this $10 section into something a little more cohesive. So we will try to display if we have the right stuff. Did put up the C. Don Enser signed print here. This is a very Kentucky scene. This is supposed to be based on his notion of someone driving their flivver to the Kentucky Derby about its 50th anniversary year, which was 1924. So more to do tomorrow, but we are getting somewhere.